It's a United States love affair with Formula One at the moment, so what a thrill for everyone today to see our drivers lapping COTA at full hot lap speed. It's the Circuit of the Americas, and it's qualifying.
Okay, mate, radio check, please, radio check.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend, so we'll see you all tomorrow. And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend, so we'll see you all tomorrow. Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, where 20 corners and speeds of up to 200 miles per hour await us on this magnificent racetrack. It's 60% full throttle with plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the two DRS zones into turn 1 and the long back straight into turn 12. What a race we have in store today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Norris, and Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Piastri, Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, and Alex Albon, Behrman, Ocon, Joshua Pearce and Stroll, Antonelli, Hayes, Pierre Gasly and Jack Doohan, Hulkenberg, Lawson, Hadjar and Gabriel Bortoleto rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And striding into our commentary box to join us today, the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday, but in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was around 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometers an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
Okay, radio check, radio check. Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Okay, incredible parking there, nice one. That's going to give you the edge if you can get a good launch as the race starts.
It's a United States love affair with Formula One at the moment, so what a thrill for everyone today to see our drivers lapping COTA at full hot lap speed. It's the Circuit of the Americas, and it's qualifying.
Okay, let's have a comms check, please. Radio check. Okay, we've been pushed down to P13. Okay, so as for the cars around us, just ahead are the fastest lap at the moment, 1:35.3. Albon, and just behind us are Verstappen, Hamilton and Gasly. Here's a quick position rundown for you. The top 5 are, okay, so the current fastest lap, 1:34.7. Russell, Verstappen, Piastri, Leclerc and Antonelli. Okay, I'm afraid we've been pushed down to P16. Here are the top 5 cars as things stand. The fastest lap at the moment, 1:34.7. Russell, Tsunoda, Verstappen, Piastri and Leclerc.
Here we are then in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, the fabulous Austin in the great state of Texas. The circuit itself, 14 miles southeast of the city centre, has been home to the US Grand Prix since 2012, the latest in a long list of iconic tracks to have that honour. We have 10 turns to the left and 10 turns to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. Overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and turn 12 at this anti-clockwise track. It's 3.6 miles long and we should see average lap speeds of around 126 miles per hour. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, and Russell, Fernando Alonso, Tsunoda, Antonelli, and Alex Albon, Sainz, Stroll, Pierre Gasly, and Pearce, Ocon, Hadjar, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Ollie Behrman, Hayes, Lawson, Hulkenberg, and Jack Doohan rounds off the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
All right, give me a quick radio check, please. Radio check. Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Superb parking there, mate. Let's make sure we get the edge on the surrounding drivers as the lights go out. Okay, DRS is now available. Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get it done. Okay, so the current fastest lap, 1 minute 37.8. Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach and make sure you don't speed. Up to speed now, let's get some heat into those tyres. Okay, let's go now, come on. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Okay, 1 stop to go. Just 1 stop left in this strategy. running low on ERS. Reminder that you can play around with ERS modes in the MFD or lift sometimes and ease onto the brake pedal for some manual recharge. Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 3.0 seconds. There are 20 laps of fuel left. Car behind's just boxed for mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre now. Right, the gap to the teammate ahead of us. 12.0 seconds. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Okay, so that's P20 right now, P20, Ocon ahead. Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by, 3.7 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. Okay, Bortoletto behind. They're on fresh mediums. Your pit window opens in 8 laps time. You've got 20 laps left until the end. Okay, there seems to have been a problem removing the left rear wheel. We need to try and put that behind us, and let's finish the race as strong as possible. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Okay, Sonoda's behind you, and the time last lap, 2 minutes, 05.2. They're on fresh softs. Their tyres are just 1 lap old. We think they've got 1 more stop. Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus. Okay, gap ahead, 7.9 seconds. Catching the car ahead, well done, but be aware these tyres need to get us to the end of this race. And you've got P15, P15. Doohan's ahead of you, less than a second separates you. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. Okay, gap ahead, 7.6 seconds. Okay, we think the underbody's incurred some slight damage, but nothing too serious at the moment, just be careful. Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
And extending his already record-breaking winning record, it's Lewis Hamilton to the line for victory.
A great victory for them today, Crofty, and you know, it gets to this part in the championship, you're getting tired, you're feeling the fatigue of a long season. Not many races to go now though, and if you can keep this kind of performance up, it's going to serve you well through to the end of this year.
It's been a hard afternoon of brilliant racing, but now it's time for some proper celebrations. The podium awaits. And back on the top spots that he's taken so often in the past. So well done to Lewis Hamilton. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Sorry to disturb. Need you for a moment, please, boss? Hey, Chief. We've got multiple parts out of research. Don't forget to develop them.